our Brothaspeak Rising Star.
I just got a will. Courtesy of your bed. I'm gripping the whip.
All right, this is Chris from Brothaspeak Podcast, where we discuss Black LGBT issues and topics. And today, this is my very first musical guest within the LGBT community. And let me tell you, for me, she's setting the world on fire down there in Texas. I can definitely assure you of that. She had a love of music since the age of 5. She's a native of Louisiana, moved down to Texas, and ever since then, the world's pretty much your oyster when it comes to the hip-hop game. And on top of that, she just came off her performance with the Pink Elephant Hip Hop Festival down in Austin, Texas. Big shout out to Japan for introducing me to her. Now, I'm ready to introduce my first musical guest, GUCH.
Daughter, finessing everything that's crossing the border. Senorita, bring it back in no hundreds. Hit the laundromat to clean up that money, and nigga, we running. No resting body.
How you doing, GUCH?
I'm doing fine. How you doing?
I'm pretty good. Let me tell you, you were just introduced to me not that long ago, again, about Japan over there down there, and I have been listening to some of your music, and I got to tell you, I'm a fan. I'm a fan, you know? It seems like some of the ladies down there, some of the ladies down there are kind of really setting the world on fire with some of the things that they're doing, and you're just coming out hard down there. So let me just make sure this is correct. You had a love of music since the age of 5. Is that correct?
Yes.
But what would you listen to? What type of music you fell in love with originally?
Hip-hop has always been my first love, you know. My dad actually was in the music biz, you know. He was in a band and everything like that. He wasn't necessarily just present in my life for too many memories for me to actually still have, but I do believe that's where my love for music came from, being, you know, when I was younger, you know, 5, 6, growing up, being around my dad, things like that.
Okay. And now, how long have you actually been in the actual hip-hop game? Is this 2005, is that correct or no?
I first started dabbling in the music, I'm going to say probably like 2009, 2010, but went behind the ears, I really didn't know anything. It was like kind of like stepping into a maze. So I took my first swing at putting a project together in 2011.
Okay. And that was a mixtape, correct?
Yeah, I put out a mixtape called Guess
It's a
Who's
dedication
Knocking.
to women with sexy tattoos. You know, the one with the Hello Kitty and Betty Boo. Sophisticated type, she even got one too. Trouble load on the back, yeah, I like that too. But look,
Okay, now let me ask you this. What's the experience like doing a mixtape and putting that out there? What was your initial experience doing that whole thing?
Oh man, it was kind of like an eye opener, because I began to learn a lot about myself, and being as though I was actually in an unfamiliar city, unfamiliar state altogether. So it was kind of like it felt like I went through a hurricane all over again, you know.
Definition of hip hop, little niggas got it confused. This ain't no sock hop. 03 was my last day in school until the beat drop. Take a seat, class in session, but broke niggas they just can't pay attention.
Basically, like, you know, just finding the right people to link with, like engineers, producers, things like that. And it's just like, you know, Houston is a nice place, but everybody not that helpful, you know.
Right.
So it's more so like you got to get it how you live, you know what I'm saying? So all my friends out there, I get a lot of. They see the elevation of growth within my music. Again, that's from the quality on up. Like, my first mixtape was recorded in a closet.
The time is coming, I must thank you for the patient wait. And it don't mean you, I mean the fact you made a nigga wait. Said what's your sign? She replies in Aquarius. 10 behind the one in front, but then on my shit.
So since then, ever since then, well, first off, let me ask you, when you actually officially moved to Texas?
Moved to Texas, well, I think that was 2008, I believe.
Okay.
When Hurricane Katrina hit New Orleans, which is my hometown, probably like in August, end of August, and probably like a month after that, I decided to move to Texas, where, you know, most people I knew were at. So I felt like I wasn't gonna be too secluded.
Yeah. So basically, when you made that transition, well, first off, how did you feel Texas? Did it actually become your home eventually? You start feeling the people, start feeling the environment down there?
Well, definitely. I made Texas my new home. You know, I'm always just diehard New Orleans representer.
All right.
I feel like Houston is a very, very big place, you know. A lot of different people, you know. You're going to have bad people wherever you go, but I can say that, you know, the music scene out here is very, very big. So it's not something you just have to search hard for. Everywhere you go, there's something involved in music going on out here. And it made me more focused and more dedicated to my career and put my best foot forward. So I just chose to stay out here, you know, still go back home and, you know, tear down and visit, but I'm mainly going to reside in Texas for right now.
You know what? Talk to me about the music industry down there in the Texas area. Is it, I mean, it's almost like, from what I understand, Louisiana is also very heavy much into the independent music scene, especially down in Louisiana. That's where Cash Money came from. We all know, you know, where Master P came from. So from what I understand, you actually came, so coming from Louisiana and transitioning over to Texas, was it that much different, or you actually found it pretty similar?
I mean, when I first started out in New Orleans, just being interested in trying to do music, it was kind of, I knew I'm raised from that, so it was like the love and everything was there, but it was like when it came down to running into the right people, finding the right venues and things like that to be seen, that was kind of hard because it's like, you know, jazz is real strong down there, blues is real strong down there, the culture is, you know, real strong down there, so it's like when it came down to hip-hop, it's like, hey, where's the scene and things like that, so it's like, you know, it was kind of like rocket for me then, but when I transitioned over to Texas, it was like everywhere you went, it was something going on out here, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Now, you know, it's not hard to find the right place to be at all. You know, it's more so finding the right person who's not just out to just rob you out your money out here.
Yeah. So pretty much when you came down, you got, you know, now you got your little footing. Now you got your footing in the game a little bit. How long before you started to really start setting the world on fire here? Because I got to tell you, I was listening to some of the songs that you played. Like I said, you got a new fan now. I actually enjoy some of that music. Who would you say Who would you say, number one, inspired you in this music game?
Oh man, I've always been inspired by the old heads, Nas, Tupac, the old heads that kept hip hop alive.
Gotcha.
With substance, and you can actually understand what they're saying.
Okay.
So yeah, like, you know what I'm saying, I've always been inspired by the old heads. You know, Jay-Z, you know what I'm saying? And it's like I have a couple new head fans too, like J. Cole. I'm kind of trying to get into Kendrick Lamar now. Sometimes he's a little too deep for me. But other than that, you know, I'm rocking with him, you know what I'm saying?
Right. And you know, you're right about that. J. Cole and a few other people. I know where you're coming from.
Right.
So now when it comes to, again, the first mixtape, fine, it was done in the closet. Now you kind of slowly transition to say, you know what, let me do an album. That was your first album was Transition, is that correct?
Correct.
And you did that in 2015.
Correct.
Now, what was the growth like between 2011 for your first mixtape down to 2015?
Oh man, like from that gap right there alone, it was like life for me, you know what I'm saying? I went through so much. I went through being homeless, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
I went through betrayal from friends, family issues. I went through a lot at that time. And that's why I decided to title my first album Transition, because not only, you know, was I still adjusting to being in Texas, but I was adjusting to life all within itself. So it was like, you know, I have people today that still, you know, hold on to Transition. It's like that's the best album I put out, because it was like me converting over, I would say, from girlhood to womanhood, understanding that, hey, life's gonna spell, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Were you considering more sort of finding yourself musically as well as personally, or it was a mixture of both, or maybe it was one or the other?
Definitely, it's like a mixture of both. It was like I was at war with life, and life was winning. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Until I decided to really fight back, and not fight back with my hand, but fight back with my mind.
Gotcha.
First things first, I don't really trust you niggas. Too many snitches amongst you niggas. Never got along with your kind. Dick ride for free, no joyride. I had to get in and out the mud. Where were you at?
All right, so number one, how was that album received in Transition? How was it received?
It started off kind of slow, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, me not being from out here, it's kind of like a certain bracket that really know of me. But as I started to hit every scene, performing, and anything going on, I'm being seen. I'm really just like coming in the game, like stepping on next, like, hey, I won't be denied this go round. It started to pick up a couple months after being released.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
It's still love to this day, you know. I actually went for the, I went out on a limb and put it out on iTunes, the Google Play, and things like that. And once that time limit was up, when it was time to like re-register everything, I noticed, I looked at my numbers and everything, and the numbers was good because it was my first album that basically was totally. I'm solely backing up everything myself, and I'm like, I had a lot of fans like, hey, I'm saying, I want to get it, but time power was good, whatever, things like that. So I went ahead and just put it on SoundCloud for free, like, what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's still doing good. So I feel like that was my stepping stone up into the game. Like, hey, I'm here now.
Baby, shooters don't stand by. Walk up and dump on them, never do drive-bys. Keep that heat like a sauna. Show no remorse, I hit you when your mama like, whoa. Nigga, move that door.
Thank you. Okay, I like to hear that. So you pretty much said, you know what? You're going to put out another mixtape in 2016 to follow that up. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so far? I got first off. Let me just give you a compliment right now. I love your freestyles.
Can't bear on that fuck shit. Real niggas doing biz that could've snitched. Free my brother street. Niggas love to act tough, knowing they really sweet. Busting iPhone bullets whenever they tweet.
I love your freestyles. I actually, to me, I kind of like, okay, because you got to understand, at least for me, I think a lot of people are very picky in their independent artists, when it comes to that scene.
Right.
Yeah, we got, the big artists with the big push and the big backing, but when it comes to the independent market, you kind of get a little picky with your artists, and you want to see exactly, not just are they good, but are they of quality? And that's where I can honestly say that, listen to some of your music, I hear quality sound. You definitely hear that growth. So from that transition from 2015 to the mixtape, what was the purpose of you followed up pretty soon with that mixtape? What was the difference between the first mixtape, the album, and the second one?
From a business perspective, I noticed that, hey, I was semi being taken serious. As if, like they say, the independent stage, and the people who been in the game doing it was like, hey, I started to feel like it wasn't no room for me. And then, of course, you have the whole sexual orientation bull crap that people take into consideration. So I'm like, you know what? I feel like transition didn't hit him over the head hard enough, so let's go ahead and let's be honest.
In 2000 I started it, guess you bitches couldn't finish me. Had a couple years to rethink all of my foolishness. Load the mic and cock it, shooting balls like a prison break. You can say I'm cocky, just don't ever say I'm
okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Whether you like my appearance or not, I go hard.
Okay. So was that... So from what I'm hearing is that was a bit of a hesitation, whether or not you should be considered to be an LGBT artist in comparison just to being an artist, just a normal artist?
Correct.
Or with that distinction,
Correct.
was it now, who did you find that distinction more of an issue with? You found more of the bigger venues out there, some of the managers? Who did you really find that more of the biggest issue with, the general public?
I kind of like a mixture, like, just within the industry alone. It's like, hey, it's a male-dominated industry, so when you are stepping into the game as a female and you're not solely drawn to the whole sex sales bid, it's like, they look, but they don't look good enough, or they want to put you in a category or a box. And I'm like, I'm an artist. I'm not a specific type of artist. I'm not a gay artist or a straight artist. I'm an artist, and my lyrics speaks for me, not who I'm sleeping with,
Right. And that seems okay. So basically, from this point, when you follow it up with pretty much, let's be honest, it's pretty much like, here, it's dead in your face now. Now you can't really say too much about it. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. So now, to follow this up, you came up. Well, let me ask you another question. Now, you had there's a current hit out right now, and that's with Kel. Is that correct? Kel and Temper. You were featured on this particular song. That's correct.
Correct.
Okay. So, first off, how'd you team up with these people? How'd you team up with them?
Well, like with Kel, you know what I'm saying? I started to kind of like get more acquainted with Kel, and her music, and she's getting more acquainted with my music. So she kind of like reached out to me like, hey, I got this track in mind, you know what I'm saying? She wanted to jump on it or whatever. And I'm sure neither one of us really thought the track was gonna do as well as it's actually doing.
Right.
So she told me this, she's like, I'm kind of considering Temple to get on it or whatever, you know, let me know. So I hit her up like the next day, and I'm like, hey, you know, let me know whenever you're ready to hop in the studio. My verse is ready about like 30 minutes after you got on the phone with me or whatever. So when we hopped in the studio, we went over and I actually got to get the feeling. I'm like, hey, man, I think this is going to be nice, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know her whole, you know, like, communication with Temple on it and things like that, how that really went. But, of course, since we did collab on the track, I was able to actually meet Temple when she came down for us to shoot the visual for that. And I just feel like that track alone did a lot for me. You know, I got to meet two cool people that are just as serious in the game as I am. And we all from different cultures, so we kind of like vibed off of each other. And I think that's why that track is as dope as it is. It's dealing with three different individuals from three different places of the world. You know, I'm just new to Texas. I'm not from here, so I feel like you got some sauce from each area of the globe.
I know you want it, you need it. Got explicit taste, I call it Fiji. No aroma unless it's that big a secret. Low-key, that's why you're my little secret. I'ma have to lay it down and act a fool. Cause you nigga here a clown real really do. Never take you out, so let me take you on the trip.
Gotcha. You know, and let me tell you, I see that you being featured in several songs. You've been featured in several songs throughout, and so you're definitely getting the word out, which is actually, of course, in this music game, you got to keep hustling, as we all know. Now, you currently have your current album, 700. You just released that when?
Yes, I released that March 2nd on my birthday.
So, now, let me ask you this. How is that now? Because now you're from 2011, 2015, 2016, now to jumping over to 2017. How does that feel, and how is the people are now receiving you down there in Texas?
Oh man, the love is crazy, and it's not even just within Texas. I'm getting love from all over.
Okay.
When I decided to do like a little pre-order of the album before I released it on iTunes, the Google Play, other online stores, and I put out a CD. I said, you know what? I'm gonna test the real loyalty to the people that's really behind me. So I put out a CD that has a total of 16 tracks, which are covers as well as original album songs. Now online you don't get all of those songs, so I'm like, well, let me see who's really waiting for a 700. And like, I had orders from Michigan, Florida, Cali. Like, I had orders from all over. Me dropping 17 was like an eye opener. Like, hey, you might think you're not crossing over and moving state to state because you're by yourself, but you actually are.
Okay.
Don't give up, just go harder. So it's like, to be honest, I sold 95 copies in a week.
Wow, okay. So people really feeling it. I love that. So the album's been slowly but surely kind of creeping up there for an independent artist. You know, those numbers are truly important. Those numbers are truly important because not a lot of people really don't understand what it is to be an independent artist. Now, in one of your songs, to kind of touch on this a little bit, you did mention I believe you actually mentioned on one of the track, Let's Be Honest. You kind of talked a little bit about being an independent artist in comparison to being with a major label. What is your feeling of that? Is being on a major label still something you would like to do or not?
In all honesty, you get to hear say about labels and different things like that. What happened signing with the label, what won't happen, and things like that. And I'm not currently in that position to specifically state facts or go based off experience, but I can say doing things independently, it is a benefit when it comes down to money. It's definitely a benefit, but it's also, when you're coming out of pocket 100% for everything, it's like, it's kind of like an even out. Now, when it comes down to labels, I'm not just saying I'm just so eager to just sign with a label or something like that, but I would like the right backing, but I also, I want 100% to be over creativity, who I am as an artist. I don't want anyone to try to change me. A little help could definitely I'd be grateful for a little help here and there, but I've noticed a lot of people, once they get attached to record labels, music starts to be put on hold. You start to see a whole new person gradually turn into someone that was a respectable artist, to now they're doing things that doesn't necessarily fit their characteristics. It's like it seems like it changes you.
Gotcha.
And that's what I feel.
Gotcha. So pretty much right now, you approach with caution when it comes to big labels. Is that correct?
Definitely, very cautious.
Okay. Now, I got to say, I was surprised to see that you also featured Future on one of your songs. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. How was it working with Future? I mean, how'd you guys hook up with that?
Well, at that particular time, I was under like a pre-trial management, because I'm in the market of looking for a manager, and this guy reached out to me in regards to the track, and I kind of like, hey, this is going, up into a new step, so let me go ahead and involve my manager in with this. And they pretty much kind of like set that up and everything.
Okay.
It didn't turn out how I wanted it to turn out, because it was a lot more promised within a deal that didn't necessarily break through. But all I can say is I ended up getting a dope track out the deal that my fans really related to.
Nice.
And it also showed me that no matter whether a mainstream artist I'm featured with them or not, it's like, hey, they're rocking with the jam alone, So that kind of like, was a good thing for me, even though everything didn't turn out how it was supposed to. But I know I didn't personally, be Future, more like a, business deal. Hey, he sent his over, I sent mine over, go ahead and join it together type thing.
Gotcha. So when it come down to the song itself, that's pretty much on your mixtape, but let's be honest, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So, and again, I kept going back to your mixtapes because again, I want fans to be aware of exactly the good music that you're putting out there, because I actually found Respect on My Name to be pretty a pretty good one too, So I'm not gonna even deny that. I thought it was actually a nice little. I kind of looked at some of the numbers on SoundCloud, and it does like the numbers jumped up when it came down to Respect on My Name. Was that a fun track to do?
Fuck the lions and snakes, all my niggas hate. Ain't no plug, you was scrubbing, I prove that. Put respect on my name, I get bitch slapped. How many times am I had to say it? Put respect on my name. Every time I look around, you let bitches throw dirt on my name. I don't understand these bitches. I ain't mad to play with these bitches.
That was definitely one of those tracks for me that was necessary at the time, because of course with elevation comes haters,
Yeah.
And a lot of people that I was around, doing music with, learning things from and things like that. It's like once I elevated and they seen the progression in my career, they didn't like it, And instead of, giving me my props, hey, she working hard, she deserves to move up to where she's moving up. It's like the disrespect, started to come with my name, and it was like, hey, put respect on my name. Let's not forget, what I did to get where I'm at. I earned this, and I'm not gonna let anybody belittle.
Well, let me ask you this: how would you describe your style of music? How would you describe it?
I've had one lady tell me that actually by the name of Lisa Murphy. She said, "See me perform," and she said, "You just seem so angry." And her significant other, Malcolm, actually said, he's like, "Nah, she's not angry. She's passionate." I think I would consider my style mainly to be that poor black child that have a story to tell, that I'm aggressive on the mic,
Gotcha. You're passionate, aggressive, okay.
I'm solely hip hop, I'm not too much into the whole fiction rapping, I've been through too much in life to just swap over to that. But at the same time, I'm universal with it. I can do a little bit of everything. I love rock. You know what I'm saying? I love pop.
Gotcha.
But my sole focus is aggressive hip hop. It's hip hop, aggressive hip hop. You're gonna feel what I'm saying and know that it's real what I'm saying.
Now, I asked Japan this question when he was on the podcast back in Japan. Again, another shout out to Japan. When it comes to making it in the industry, and I asked him, I said, is it easier for the guys or easier for the females within the LGBT community to really make it? Because now we're seeing songs like "Ooh," and then all these other songs coming out. Do you feel it's easier for a female artist within the LGBT community to go a little bit more, have a little bit more success versus a male?
To be honest, I feel like we both sides have it hard, but I do feel like females will probably have a better chance because it's like, people always want to focus on what's not their business, which is the relationship of another person, and you have more negative vibes towards a male than a female. They don't take females serious anyway. What I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So I do feel like males have it a whole lot harder with them being themselves and, speaking about what they feel they want to speak about within their music. The world actually gravitated to that, but we both have it hard. The jokes, the slander, the disrespect. But at the end of the day, I do kind of feel like men have it way harder.
But I bring it to 'em. On your knees, no sudden moving. I salute the Uzi. Busting everywhere is how I next the bitch do it. Swabbing horror speech, asking how I'm doing. Groupie, how you doing? I'm Gucci. Look, clown ass nigga, I'm busting. Let's see who laughing now. Pull a Dave Chappelle, the racism, Illuminati. Niggas up in my city, one call a body. We ain't play dodgeball in the hood.
Now, let me ask you this: when it comes to the competition that's out there, like you got, don't get me wrong, you got Nicki Minaj, but I don't think Nicki Minaj is the same exact style as you to actually put out there. So who would you compare yourself to, and do you feel that you are better than some of the competition that's out there?
I wouldn't compare myself to anyone. I do feel like, Young M.A. has a strong, hip hop, aggression vibe. But I don't compare myself to anyone. Nicki Minaj, I really feel like she's just solely just full pop.
Gotcha.
Now, I don't feel like the whole, culture hip hop is in her. If it's so, I'm still waiting for it to come about. I love her to death. What I'm saying? But I do feel like I'm rocking with the best of them. What I'm saying? If it comes down to a point where I have to prove if I'm better than them, hey, I'm ready for it.
Gotcha.
But I'd rather just go on the record just saying, I got respect for them, and I just hope they don't ever just try to, test my skills, because then they will find out.
They found the real deal.
Exactly.
Now, what tracks on 700 did you say, you know what, people going to love this? What particular track that you personally that you love on 700?
Of course,
I've been down so long it look like up to me, and I got fake niggas showing fake love to me. Shout out to Drake, them balls really hit home for me. The ones hating folks claiming repping home with me. I'm a dog bone collector like Denzel. Don't make me pull skeletons out your closet on my Eminem. Force me back to the old me, gotta kill him and them. Sweet little niggas, eat them up like some M&Ms. And I'm just getting started, 30 seconds in.
Because Eat was another one of those aggressive tracks like, hey, apparently respect on my name didn't get your attention. So what I'm about to do now, is I'm about to eat. Not only am I about to check you and put you in your place, but I'm going to profit off of it as well. What I'm saying? I'm getting a little more educated in the game on my own, so I feel like Eat is a breaking track for me. A lot of people got to see my wordplay, my actual skills, besides me getting to the point in a track, speaking my mind on it, so it's like, Eat is definitely one of my powerful tracks on 700 and Way Up. That's my main single, which is about to be pushing all over. I'm putting everything I got into getting that on the radio. Way Up is definitely like, hey, I was once looked at as if she'll never make it. She don't have what it takes. She don't look the part, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, hey, I'm way up now. Y'all been saying this for years. And it's like now, you're still saying it, but it's like you're whispering it now. You can't say it loud without people just agreeing with you like that, because it's like, you can't deny me now. It's basically like, okay, let's see if she's about to get to the next step now, And I actually have a talented artist that has he's doing this thing, B King, on there. I got a lot of good feedback from that because B King is also an artist that showed a different side to him on that particular track. Because he's mainly like a, they call him a club guard. He's mainly like with the church songs, the dancing, like let's get you crunk in the club, and you got to get a different side of his lyricism in that track. Some people say that was the first time to ever really just hear a full verse out of him because he's mainly doing hooks and things like that. So that track did a lot. It showed a lot for both sides, and it proved to them that hey, not only can I give you that raw rap, but I can also give you something that's ready and ready to go. So it's like you can't deny me on no level.
Gotcha. Now, any other particular tracks on the album?
A lot of niggas.
Only a greedy nigga fight the hand that's feeding and watch who you eat with. Pussy nigga hurt you bleed quick. On your knees praying for your weakness. Don't want it to murk nothing. You gon' need a t-shirt that hurts for. Carry about 6 of the dirt boy. All the sneak this and feelings hurt boy. Like a lot of you niggas. Fake at the jury. You rockin' me. Why would I lie to you? Why would I lie?
I got a lot of people that really siding with that track, because what I speak about is kind of like the trail, you got a lot of people that come around, they want to side with you, they want to be down with you, but they're not really down for the come up, or they're around just to bring you down. And it's like I ran into a lot of them, I started off with some best friends that's not even associates to me now.
Gotcha.
And it's like, in this world, you gonna always run into a lot of niggas, and me saying that word because I'm trying to, adjust my vocabulary. Me saying that word is exactly what I mean. The full definition of the word nigga, machine. It's something that is a man program, and right. I feel like I ran into a lot of people that just stuck in that mind frame to where this is what we're supposed to do to our kind. We're not supposed to let them rise. We're not supposed to let them progress in life and do something. So that's what I mean by a lot of niggas. Some people just think it's just a figure of speech, but that word, I'm using it in the context it's supposed to be used in, what the real definition of a nigga is.
Gotcha. Let me tell you, I just want to make sure that the world understands that there's a lot of hot talent out there right now, and I definitely put you in that line because, like I said, when it comes to independent artists, you want to make sure that the artist is ready. That they're ready to actually put themselves out, that they're ready to get out quality music. And Gucci, I tell you, to me personally, you have what it takes to really put it out there and to push the LGBT community out there a little bit further to show people that we got a lot to showcase, a lot of talent to showcase. Not just Frank Ocean, but we got a lot of hip hop respect to actually put out there. So I thank you for number one to actually come on doing an interview with the Brothaspeak Podcast. And I definitely want to put some of your music. Your music will be playing in the background so people can be able to listen to your tracks. And I'll be also putting a link any place that you want people to find your music. That where any particular website, anything that they can go to.
Most definitely. I definitely want everybody to check out my new album 700. That displays a lot more about me and showing my elevation. That's available on all online stores. You can also check out my SoundCloud. I have some additional little tracks on there as well. That's not online for 700. And 700 is not just all letters. It's the letter 7 and 100 HUNNIT.
So again, Gooch, I thank you so much for your time. And like I said, I would love to have you back on again. I want to find out the results and want to find out your next LP, next song you want to drop, and let me know so I can be able to put you on the podcast and let people get the word out. Is that cool?
Most definitely. I'm honored. I'm honored for this interview to let me, get out there.
And let me tell you, listen, I'm honored to have you on the show. You are my very first LGBT musical artist that I'm actually interviewing. And hopefully this get a nice little spin from DJ Baker. Shout out to DJ Baker from the Top 40 Weekly. So we can put this on the, normally he actually puts some of the podcasts on the Top 42. So hopefully we'll be able to listen to you there, okay?
Most definitely.
All right, thank you so much. Got to take a moment to give a big shout out to DJ Baker with the weekly Top 40. There's the first LGBT urban countdown from artists from around the world. Tune in every single Saturday live from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. exclusively on alldigitalradio.com.